ladies and gentlemen, I would suggest we start with silent opening prayers. After opening prayers, we'll have Mohammed Sandeng give his remarks. Then we'll have Nyuma Sonko give remarks. Then Dr. Malanding Jaite would give remarks. Then from there, we'll have the signing of the contract between MAP and the project coordinating committee, and a vote of thanks by Mohamed Jagana. And then there'll be a tour of the house led by the contractor, Mr. A.B. Guy. So can we have a silent prayer, please? Thank you. So Mohammed, if you can kindly give your remarks.
Yes, good afternoon, or good morning rather. I believe it's still not afternoon.
You might have to scream louder.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you very much for coming and answering to our call of the Sandeng family and our assistors. And I thank you all for having to be with us, throughout all of this journey. I mean, our assistors, Mohamed Jagana and MABB Construction, and every other person that had donated from the point of the fundraising, to this point of starting the project and the signing of the project. I just want to outline a few things about this house, and that is to say it is going to house my siblings and of course myself and my mother, which makes it a very important initiative or a very important endeavor for me. So I would want to thank each and everyone that made it possible. For us to start building this house, I thank you all. I just want to outline also the importance of the GoFundMe and the donations that led to the starting of this project. They are very important as they are geared towards giving a home to a family of 9 people, most of whom are school-going children below the ages of 20, let me say, minimum. So that makes it a very important endeavor, not only as a befitting tribute to the late Solo Sandeng, but also it shows the generosity of Gambians and the concern that Gambians have for their fellow Gambians. I wish to thank again every other person that donated and that shared those GoFundMe links that led to any other person that donated to have to donate to this GoFundMe, the project. And we still want to call on more people to donate once it kicks off, because our funds as at now are not enough to exhaust the building of the project here. So we're actually launching this project today, with the great efforts of some great people who have been supporters of our family, and they had, made everything possible to see us through all of this up to this position, and we want to thank them all. On behalf of my family, I want to say thank you to all of them, and also thank you to the general Gambian people that really saw the need to donate to this GoFundMe and make our dream of moving into our house after a couple of leases possible. So I want to take this opportunity one more time to say thank you to all of you and make it known that as we have started this project, the funds that we have acquired that is in our possession will not be able to complete the building, and we will be very grateful that we have the more commitments coming in order to complete this project. I'd like to stop there. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mohammed. We'll take the remarks from Nyuma Sonko. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Momo kontona. Ni doku ni mami aliyake jang. be dina dimbal be bal kontonna ko kontanta bake kay tan dalla ko kontanta bake le min ketambulu sewo baleti oldo ni ku yakole mbara sewo tele fanan min keta aliena alwenna korda laban na nyame kalonye pour na korda laban solo sande na dimbayal ya sutura damento ketanye fentimi yala kontano wartanka be duala molbe anembe mobe tentula be jayla mini keta mini bulodu nyin koto kata fal tolu mini yalon ko albakela albaki kante be duala albe fo ala se kayra jama kal be okay nyin ko kontano ni aja wartanka because be damen tel birin so bantani bitam be luaso la ado luaso mamer na luaso ni be expire la next 2 months la be expire so wo kamala o ketambulu jahal ko balati no ni na dimbayal jakal tan ko la no bake nde wontano bari birin nata Muhammad nata fanye min ketan de ngoti kay tan dinako ibe kordani malale last Monday wo wolum sewota katu ngalon ko tumado nanni kuya abe falen na nyakairol bal be kontonna duwala mobe ba flale al nimbara do ntal be to fono la because man to tol be long but Mr. Jagana ini la molbe be duwala al be ala al sosi jamola al min jama mi yalon ko gambe din kendo wara banko din kendol min yalon ko lotela banko e ke la dimbal nya fita al be lori wala ala ma ala al jo wasala.
A very good afternoon to everyone here and beyond, and of course a very good morning to all those who live west of us, mainly in the United States and beyond, because this is a global effort. Gambian diaspora are everywhere, almost every country out there we have a Gambian, and when of course the tragic events of 2016 occurred, the moment when Mr. Ibrahim Solo Sandeng and team, knowing the dangers involved, knowing all the issues that were involved, decided to ask and come out and ask the world and the current, at the time, the dictatorship, to allow Gambians to freely express themselves through the ballot box as to who they want as their leader. You know, it was, and it can still be seen as perhaps the most important moment in our struggle to end the tyranny that had reigned in the Gambia for 20-something years, 22 years. So Mr. Solo Sandeng, unfortunately, was grabbed in public and of course was never seen again alive. Of course, everybody knew then that he was murdered, but that did not stop the Gambian people from moving forward and making sure that we end those days forever. And today, most of us, in fact many of us today, and almost all of Gambia, is celebrating that breath of fresh air, the liberty that we have seen, knowing fully well that those people like Ibrahim Sandeng and many others who lost their lives gave up not only their lives but also the caring of their family and all the responsibilities that come with family men, so that we can enjoy this little freedom. Really raising these funds and making sure that we get to a moment where the family that he cared for so long and for so much could have a place they call home has become a responsibility as well as an obligation to us Gambians who are today enjoying the freedom that his death and many others' death really gave us. And the people both in the diaspora and within the country over the last 1 year, contributed immensely. They did whatever they could in dollars and pound sterlings and euros and everything that you can name, so that we can come together as a country to say thank you. We can come together as a country that can say, yes, Mr. Sandeng, you gave all you got, including your life, but we are here and we still care for you. and for all those you care for. And really, this is been a very, yes, hard-fought battle, and is still ongoing, because raising, all the money that is needed to complete this house has been a challenge. We have so far raised 884,000 plus, almost 889,000 dollars. And when we approach good people in country, we got Mohammed Jagana, as well as Tough Global Foundation. They have come up and really decided to help us make sure that the hard-earned money that was raised in the diaspora as well as in country is put into good use, to make sure that the money is spent, every single dollar is spent on the building. And with their help, we were able to secure the contractor, MA and B contractors. They are actually working in the background here. They are now ready to pick up to make sure that this building is completed in the coming months. We are also going to ask more people and ask all those who are previously contributed to dig deeper into their pockets and see whatever they can add to what we have already gotten, because even though we raised 800,000, almost $900,000, it is clear that it will take more than $1.5 million to complete this building. So we are therefore asking every single Gambian, wherever they may be, to help. It does not matter how many. If we all put $1 together today a piece, we should be able to meet that required. So it is essential that we tell our folks, and of course some of you here, to extend the message further in order for us to be able to come back in April and see the Sandeng family in their rightful place. This is the place that Mr. Solo Sandeng acquired for himself, and he started the process. He just could not do it today because he is not alive. And certainly he did not die throwing himself in the sky or jumping off the airplane. No, he did it for what was right, for what many of us could not do at the time, and that is to stand out there and say to the world, can you ask this dictator to allow us free and fair election? I mean, that was a very simple request by someone holding a placard on the side of a street, and he was not doing it throwing stones or running around and yelling and screaming, no. And for someone to pick him up and beat him to death certainly is not what Gambians are about. It has never been a Gambian thing to do that, and we want to prove that it is not. That one was an aberration. That one was something that Gambians don't do. This is what Gambians do. We help each other to build their lives, and certainly we want to help this family at least to have a semblance of a family, which is a home, and that's really where we are today. And I thank you all once again for coming, taking all the time. It has been a very difficult day for some of you to move from one program to another, but indeed it is an honorable thing, and I certainly see myself as only a representative of the many, many, many tens of hundreds of people who have donated here and there to come together, and we should no doubt feel comfortable that the money that is raised is going to be well spent. And it's definitely our desire to make sure that the Sandeng family move into their home in April, and that is really unfortunate month also, because that month will be the very much the month that Mr. Sandeng lost his life standing up for the Gambia. So these are serious symbolic days and symbolic months, but we want everyone to help raise the extra funds that is needed, and I cannot say that more, but it's definitely something that we need. We need everyone's support to make this. And once again, I thank all the partners, especially Tough Global Foundation, and also Mr. Mohammed Jagana, Jefin, because they are definitely busy people. They are involving a lot of things, but they have taken up all the time and all the energy to make sure that we get the right contractor and we also get the right direction. And certainly they are doing their best to help, but certainly we want to reach out to everyone once again, to see that this honorable job of making sure that the Sandens have a place called home is realized. And I thank you all.
Thank you. If you just move your mics, I'll give the vote of thanks. Then from there, we'll just do the ceremonial handshake. Then Mr. Guy, who is the contractor, will just take you around the house. Then that's it. Nyuma, the Sandeng family, supporters of the Solo Sandeng Foundation, members of the press. Solo, like every great father and loving husband and caring parent, held the ultimate dream of one day building a dream home for his young family and lovely wife. Unfortunately, Solo could not realize that wonderful dream of his due to ultimate sacrifice paid when he stood up for a bigger dream of a better Gambia. Today we stand on the very ground on which Solo toiled and sweated as he sought to provide a dream home for his family. Solo made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation. He gave his life so that you and I can live in a better Gambia. Not only does he deserve to be remembered, but we all owe it to him to keep alive his dream of bringing fruition of some of his dreams, finishing this home and moving his family in here. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the team that conceived this idea, which was initially initiated to me by Mamadou B. Kurbali, but among them was Dr. Malanding Jaite, our Tukulorsi, Anna Jaite, and a lot more that we could not name all. I was asked by Mamadou B. Kurbali if I would volunteer my time to help coordinate the local efforts to implement the project, and asked Mustafa Njai of TAF Global to help build the house. I, of course, accepted, and TAF's response when I called him made me feel that I made the right choice. When I approached him as directed, he said, as a matter of fact, we all owe it to Solo Sandeng, and without flinching, he was on board and gave his full support through the TAF Africa Foundation. Through support from the TAF Africa Foundation, which is represented here by Usainu Sose today, we managed to identify the contractor, Mr. Guy of MAP Architecture and Construction, to build Solo's dream home. Mr. Guy, we thank you for taking up this meaningful and historic task. To all the donors and supporters, we say thank you. We also appreciate all who are here this afternoon to lend your support to this noble project. By just attending this simple ceremony, and to the media especially by reaching out and sharing our message, we say thank you for the headlines and reports that we expect to hear or realize in the coming days to be able to raise the funding to be able to finish this house. The dream of a man who laid down his life so that we can enjoy a better Gambia for all. I thank you all and God bless you. That's end of the formal part of the press briefing. From now, I think we'll just hold one of the contracts with Nima, MAP and the family. We'll do photo opportunities. Then Mr. Guy will take you around the house and explain to you the layout and that stuff. We would like to minimize the questions to around the project and the house, because the family requested their privacy to be respected. So we'll appreciate if
once again to the Solo Sandeng family and everybody that's involved in this noble project. Just welcoming you guys for the first time on site. Actually, the plot size, let me start with the plot size, a huge land though, which is 3,080 square meters, and you have the floor area of the building is 280 square meters with a 4-bedroom bungalow house. But we do, as you have already heard, we are still short on cash, so we shrink the floor area of the building from 280 to 150 meters square. So I will welcome you guys when we go to the tour. As you can see, that's the entrance. My guys are walking. We've started the backfilling. So the target, as has been mentioned already, it's end of March. That's we're supposed to complete the job. Though we are tight on schedule, but we will finish it. We will finish it because the work is too much. Okay, I'll manage it. The duration of the contract is 2 months. Yes. So by end of March, I should be wrapping up, and 1st of April, do the handing over to the committee and the family, inshallah. So as you can see, we started with the block work. The structure has been here for a very long time. Some of the walls, most of the walls were dilapidated, and we had some structural failure. So we have to knock most of the walls down and then redo the configuration. So now, rather than having the 4-bedroom, we've managed to have the 1 master bedroom, 2 bedrooms at the back with a shared toilet, and you have the dining and kitchen for now. And hopefully if the budget increases, we'll increase obviously the floor area of the building. So as you can see, work is going on once again. So please watch your steps. So as you can, that'll be the kitchen area. These are some of my workers just waiting for you guys to vacate the premises so they can start work. So, and you have here sorry, please watch your step, please, because I don't have insurance to pay you guys when you get injured. So here's the toilet, going to be the shared toilet and 1 bedroom. There's the other 2 bedrooms located on this side here with the shared toilet. And here you have the corridor. Moving around, so you have a circulation. Watch your steps, please. And here is the master bedroom with this toilet. And yes. So for now, with the amount we've got so far, we're going to close up the house from this point. As you can see, the 2 trenches. All right. So as of now, this part of the building, it's not included because the budget we have so far cannot cover it up. So that's why we shrink the floor area to 150 square meters rather than the 280 square meters. But hopefully, by time it goes on, we're hoping, Gambians will come forward and then fulfill their pledges so that we can go ahead and just complete the whole structure so that the family can come and live in comfortably without worrying about space or anything like that. Cost is about 1.5 to 1.8. To finish up the whole work, we will complete almost, the budget will be 1.8, but for now it's 1.5 to complete for the 150 square meters. And that's just the structure. And the fence, because like I said, the plot is very big. It's 3,080 square meters. So that's why the fence is not included in the budget, because you cannot cover it up. So we hope, that's why we hoping people will come forward as soon as possible. So at least, because having a fence is very important. It gives you a sense of protection and security. Yeah.